Have you ever felt that some people enter your life like a storm, intense, irresistible, as if the cosmos itself had sent them? And then, without warning, everything starts to fall apart. Plans fail, words become knives, and the heart feels heavy, as if carrying a secret you still can't decipher. What happens when the universe insists on placing obstacles in the path of a love that once felt written in the stars? Could it be that it's against you, or in fact trying to set you free? Carl Jung taught that nothing is by chance. Every conflict, every synchronicity, every door that closes is a sign, an invitation to look beyond the illusion of romance and see the truth your soul already knows but your mind resists accepting. This is not a video about giving up on love. It's about choosing the kind of love that doesn't imprison, but expands. What would you do if you found out that the universe is trying to show you something greater than a broken heart? The mirror of the soul. How relationships reveal who we truly are. What you call irresistible attraction might be something much deeper than passion. Carl Jung revealed that we fall in love not only with who the other person is, but with what they reflect back to us. Hidden parts, unhealed wounds, or potential we've yet to dare embrace. At first, it feels magical. We see in the other the courage we lack, the tenderness we long for, or the security we crave. But what happens when that image starts to fall apart? What once seemed like a soulmate becomes a brutal and necessary invitation to face our own shadows. Relationships are mirrors. When arguments, jealousy, or dependency arise again and again, it's not just about the other person. It's about what's still unresolved within you, that emptiness we keep trying to fill with someone else, but which can only be healed by looking inward. Jung called this projection. We assign to others what we don't recognize in ourselves. And the universe, in its silent wisdom, uses these conflicts to remind us. True love doesn't arise from lack, but from the wholeness that already exists, waiting to be discovered. The question is, are you ready to see yourself in the reflection? When the veil lifts, the end of illusion in relationships. There is an inevitable moment in every great love, when the enchantment fades and the eyes begin to see what the heart once refused to admit. That perfect smile no longer hides the flaws. The gestures that were once romantic now seem calculated, and the certainty of having found the one gives way to a doubt that can no longer be ignored. That awakening hurts, but it's no accident. It's the universe removing the veils we ourselves placed over our eyes. When we project our desires and needs onto another, we create a character, not a real partner. And when they inevitably fail to live up to the role we wrote, the disappointment we feel isn't about them, but about our own unexamined expectations. The conflicts that arise during this phase are not signs that something is wrong. They are signs that something is working. Each misunderstanding, each frustration, is an invitation to stop seeking perfection in another and start finding it within yourself. The truth no one tells you is that true love begins where idealization ends. When you're able to see the other and yourself with all the imperfections and still choose to stay, or, in some cases, choose to walk away. Because sometimes the greatest act of love is recognizing when a story has reached its natural end. This is the paradox of growth. We need to believe in the fairy tale to find the courage to love, but we only discover real love when we are willing to wake up from it. The shadow theater. What your conflicts reveal about you. There is an invisible force at work in your relationships. Not the magic of destiny, but the echoes of what you have yet to face within yourself. When certain behaviors from your partner trigger disproportionate reactions, when small flaws spark big fights, you're not just reacting to the person in front of you. You're confronting your own shadow. This dynamic follows a revealing pattern. What we criticize most in others is often what we deny most in ourselves. The irritation with someone else's selfishness may hide your own fear of giving. The anger at your partner's indecision might point to your own unmade choices. Relationships then become a stage where we unknowingly perform the unresolved dramas of our psyche. But there is beauty in this mechanism. Each friction, each discomfort is a golden opportunity. If you have the courage to ask, "What is this situation showing me about myself?" Instead of blaming the other, you might discover rejected parts of yourself waiting to be integrated. The shadow is not your enemy, but a guide. When you stop projecting it onto your partner and begin to embrace it as part of who you are, relationships cease to be battlefields and become sacred spaces for mutual growth. True intimacy begins when two beings show up whole, light and darkness, unafraid of what they might find in the mirror the other holds up. The universe's secret code. When the cosmos whispers. How many times have you thought about someone and then received a message from them minutes later? Or decided to end a relationship, and suddenly every sign in the city seemed to shout, "Freedom!" These aren't coincidences. They are encrypted messages from the soul, synchronicities that Jung described as the universe's language when it needs to be heard. Relationships destined to end often come with signs too obvious to ignore. A book falls open on the perfect page. A song plays exactly when you need to hear those lyrics. Unexpected encounters with people repeating the very phrases your heart had been whispering. The cosmos speaks through coincidences that carry deep meaning. These events are not mere accidents, but mirrors of the collective unconscious. When you notice repeating patterns, always stumbling over the same stone, making the same romantic mistakes, you're being urgently invited to awaken to what your essence already knows, but your mind still resists accepting. Synchronicity is the divine art of placing in your path exactly what you need to see. The challenge: having the wisdom to read the signs and the courage to follow where they lead. Because when the universe insists on sending messages, it's because there's a more aligned path waiting to be explored. The invisible chains. When love suffocates instead of liberating. There comes a moment when the embrace that once warmed begins to feel too tight. The promises that once brought excitement now sound like demands. The we you built slowly swallows the me you've always been, and in the blink of an eye, what was meant to be a refuge becomes a cell without bars. How do you distinguish love from imprisonment? Look at where your vitality is. Healthy relationships bring expansion. You grow, create, breathe. When love becomes a prison, a strange contradiction appears. Even together, the loneliness grows. You find yourself shrinking your dreams, silencing your opinions, molding yourself to a shape never meant for your spirit. The fear of abandonment can lead us to accept crumbs of affection as if they were feasts. But no true love requires you to disappear in order to be lived. That sinking feeling when you think about ending it isn't a sign you should stay. It's the painful recognition that you've already lost sight of yourself. Freeing yourself is not a betrayal of love, but a loyalty to your essence. Because the purpose of love was never to complete halves, but to celebrate wholeness. When you realize you're drowning, letting go isn't giving up. It's choosing to breathe again. The journey of return. When you find yourself along the way. There is a call deeper than any romance, the one that echoes from within, inviting you to become who you truly are. Jung called this individuation, the sacred process of gathering all your lost parts, embracing both light and shadow, and finally stopping the search for in others what can only be found within. This journey is not about loneliness, but about wholeness. Every relationship that ends, every mask that falls, every night of doubt, they are all necessary steps on the path back to yourself. You begin to realize that the loves that hurt were not accidents, but disguised teachers, showing you exactly where you had not yet fully accepted yourself. The paradox is beautiful. The more you know yourself, the less you need someone to complete you. And then, magically, you begin to attract relationships that reflect your essence, not your lack. That love, which once seemed like destiny, reveals itself to be just a step on the staircase leading to your true self. Individuation is the bravest. Of all love adventures, the ultimate romance between you and your soul. When you stop seeking mirrors in others and start seeing your own reflection, you discover the love you've always been searching for has been waiting inside you all along. The final letting go, when releasing, is the most sacred act of love. There comes a moment when life whispers a question that can no longer be ignored. Do you prefer the comfort of the known or the freedom of what is yet to be born? Holding on to a love that has already ended in essence is like watering an artificial flower. The gesture seems caring, but there's no life to sustain. Many confuse detachment with failure, when in truth it is the purest form of loving wisdom. The universe doesn't separate souls out of cruelty but out of compassion, moving you away from closed doors so you can see the ones truly open. That lingering pain is not a sign to return, but the soul's final movement as it pulls the roots from a love that has already fulfilled its purpose. There's a crucial difference between abandoning and releasing. When you let go with awareness, you are not giving up. You are choosing to honor both the other and yourself. You are saying, I love you enough not to turn you into a prison, nor become a prisoner myself. Love that's worth it will never ask you to dim your light. If today you must walk alone, you are not losing something. You are reclaiming yourself. And that reunion, however lonely it may feel at first, is the only true foundation for any real love yet to come. The final invitation. Writing your next chapter with wisdom. Every journey of love and self-discovery begins and ends in the same place, within you. The relationships that have passed through your life weren't accidents, but sacred mirrors reflecting lessons that only your soul could learn. Now, with your eyes open, you face the most important choice: to repeat the same patterns or write a new story. The love that frees doesn't arise by chance. It's born from the courage to honor your truth, even when it asks you to let go of what no longer serves you. Every step toward your essence is a seed planted for future, more authentic connections. You haven't lost loves, you've gained yourself over and over again, and that is the only treasure that truly matters. The universe always conspires in favor of those who dare to listen to their inner voice. The synchronicities, the signs, the meetings and partings, all of it has been preparing you for this moment of clarity. The true miracle is not finding the love of your life, but realizing that this life already holds all the love you need. This is not a goodbye, but a new beginning. With every veil removed, every projection reclaimed, you become capable of a different kind of love. Not the one that fills voids, but the one that celebrates wholeness. The path is open, and the choice, as always, is yours alone. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment, and share. Thank you, and see you in the next video.